In this video we're going to revive my recently retired 93 Honda Civic to race once again. We've got some wider front wheels to try, and we're also going to give the car a little bit of a service. Then we're going to focus on the suspension, performing a corner weighting and geometry setup. The M3 also moves for the first time in a while, and my quick release splitter nearly catches me off guard. Quick release. Now then, welcome to another video. This is a little video to wet your whistle for this weekend's activities, where I will be racing the Civic once again. Why not the Civic once again? So you might remember I retired this car last year because I'm going to rip it apart and put everything on to the Integra. Yeah, that is the plan, but obviously I've been doing other stuff, and I know a lot of you enjoy the Nürburgring plans, but a lot of you are thinking, well, I quite enjoyed those racings that we did before, all that racing. Well, guess what? The first round of the 2025 Hot Hatch Championship, which is the championship that we won in 2023 and had a little bit of success in towards the end of last year as well at Donington Park. The opening round is at Donington National, which just happens to be one of my favourite circuits, and it's a circuit which always provides awesome racing, and there's also going to be a live stream on, which for me, Mr. Content Creator, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, I make that deal, you make that deal. Yeah, you make that deal, I make that deal. So yeah, the car hasn't moved since its last race. It was actually at Donington again last year. We did a 45-minute race. We installed some bigger brakes, and we installed a secondary fuel tank, like a swirl pot kind of system. A surge tank, I think, is probably the right word to use. And since then the car's just sat, because, you know, it was all just going to get lifted and shifted onto the Integra. But it's still a complete race car. It's still eligible to race, and yeah, this weekend we're gonna race it. We've got some new wheels, some 8-inch wide wheels, which should not only fit our calipers better, but should also make our tyres a little bit happier. So this video, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna prepare the car, just a little warm up for you, and then this weekend, racing. They've changed the rules this year so that turbo cars can enter. Turbocharged cars with no greater than 1.6 litre capacity. So we might see cars such as Fiesta STs, such as Mini Cooper S's, and BMW 1 Series as well. The rear-wheel drive 1.5 litre turbo 1 Series are also now eligible to enter the Hot Hatch Championship. The car will still remain physically the same, but yeah, as you might see, there's a little bit of something going on here that we need to address. The radiator's been slowly but surely leaking, and yeah, we might have to change the radiator. I do have a spare. We might have to change the radiator, but yeah, the biggest change should be hopefully just those wheels. So let's start with that. Right, so currently on the car you can see there's a Buddy Club P1 QF. It's a very nice forged Buddy Club wheel, but it's only 7 inches wide. That is a Team Dynamic Pro Race, made in the Brexit Britons. It's a little bit damaged. One of my Patreons sold it to me for a nice price, but it should be perfectly fine for our racing car. This is 8 inches wide. That is a 225 50/15 tyre. On a 7-inch wheel, which is what the Buddy Club is, that is not quite very good. This wheel should hopefully let us remove the wheel spacers, but also will work much better for the tyre. Let's see if it fits. That is too many spacers. Look at that. Like I'm going to Jap Fest, not Donington. What's all that about? Please, just fit, please. They don't fit. Oh, God damn it! Okay, I was hoping that would just fit. These are 5mm. We are operating on kind of fine margins. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't hit, but you know, we have thermal expansion to think about. That's a 3. Maybe we run the... maybe we just put the 10s on. I don't like wheel spacers, but what else can I do, eh? Alright, it's time for what is possibly the most exciting part of any good revival video of a car that's been parked up for a while. What's going on there? And will it start? I don't know, let's find out. How much coolant has it lost? Why is there puddles on the floor? Do I have a bonnet prop? I don't have a bonnet prop on this car, okay. So, is there still water in the radiator? Yes. Okay, that's fine then. So it is weeping a little bit, but maybe not enough to worry about. Will it start? Let's find out. Oh, it does have a battery cut-off switch, so, you know, a little bit cheating, I guess. Maybe a little bit cheating, I guess. Ho ho! Sounds like it might. Oh. Oh. Oh, hello. Yeah, you are running. Are you still in date, Mr. Harness? Not valid after 25. We're still good to go. Right, we've got the fun task of trying to get... maybe we'll put the black M3 in there, actually. We're going to try and get the blue one in to get it out of the way. I'm working on this at the minute. Got these seats out to go in the dark side caddy, which obviously that's Nürburgring times coming up soon. And I've not started the MR2 project yet, but it is meant to also be at the Nürburgring in 2 weeks, so... oh man, I've got too much, too young. Alright, I'm getting sick of shoving this heap in and out, backwards and forwards all the time, so I'm going to try and get it in the hole. In the hole! Like Rory McIlroy, because golf McIlroy. We'll just leave that in. Because the golf's topical at the minute. It's probably not while you're watching this now, but it was when I'm recording this. Golf. I'm not sure why it was doing a little bit of a wee on the floor, especially here, but it seemed to stop. So, enjoy your new resting place, Squire. Yeah, out. Alright, I guess we better see if there's anything broken. Alright, I guess we best go and, yeah. Alright, I guess we best have a look if anything is broken then. Yes, good idea, thank you. Let's just have a visual inspection of the undercarriage, yeah? Remember, it's been sat for a while, but... oh, I can already see something. What's that doing? Weeping a little bit of gearbox oil. A little bit of weepage going on there. That earth doesn't look great, but... not terrible. Yeah, pretty oily and dirty. Is that coming from the oil cooler lines? That's where the radiator is leaking from. Look, there was a bung there that was welded out, welded in. Nothing immediately alarming really. The gearbox weep. I mean, the gearbox has been apart, so maybe is it leaking from the seal, or is it leaking just from the sump plug? Oh, the drain plug. We can easily check. I mean, the gearbox oil looks the right colour anyway, so that's nice. I think that's the fill plug there, so we can always, can you see it right up there? So we can always crack that off and make sure it's full. I'm pretty sure it will be, but yeah, the only real concerning thing is like what these brake ducts are doing, because they're certainly not doing anything, are they? They're just pissing in the wind, so to speak. And the brakes did get quite hot in the endurance race that we did, look. They got up towards 200 dungarees, which is too many. Yeah, too many degrees, that is. Splitter's still kind of there-ish. Oh, you can see better on that one, 193, nearly 200, about 200 dungarees. That's too many. Well, it's not too many, but it's right on the limit. Anyway, that's for sure. Everything looks all right. Let's. I'm going to crack that gearbox. Well, I think that's a gearbox fill plug right in there. I'm going to crack that off and see if any comes out. Okay. So if we see any trickle out of here immediately, that means we're good. Yep. You see it immediately start pissing out. Okay. So yeah, just a slight weep maybe from when the gearbox has been resealed. It's had different gears and a different LSD in it. Well, it's got an LSD in it, you know. It's got an M factory 1.5 way clutch type in this. So yeah, nothing to be worried about there. I would like to make the brake cooling better, but I don't think that's we do have time, but what can we really do? I don't know. That's the old pipe work that was it came with that kit that I had that I've still got, the BYC kit. Let's do the old shake the wheel MOT checks now. So there's no steering lock on this car. So doing the side to side ones is a bit hard. We can try and go diagonals. A little bit of compression in the spring, but nothing of concern. Rear pads look a bit melty. Might be interested in having a look at the rear pads. They just look a little bit melty, you know? Just a little bit melty. The champion told me I have to stop wearing this, but this is vintage. But merchandise, I had a little bit of a problem with merchandise. But it's resolved now and there's new stuff on there. There's some really good track day tops, if I do say so myself. These rear pads also look a bit melty. So I think we'll have a quick look at the pads. God, that dust. Oh yeah, everybody wants a barn, but nobody wants the dust. I mean, it should be all right. I remember we kept this car in pretty good fettle, so not finding problems is okay with me. Get the state of that. What's the front pads like? They were new. Yeah, front pads look okay. Let's try the rear ones. The rear ones look melty. I don't know I can't remember what pads they are, but let's have a quick nosy. Milwaukee test. 12, M12. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that was no test at all. Pissed it. It's just how you want your brake pads to look, innit? These are some pads that I had kicking about, I think. Can't remember why they're in here, but there was a reason. Well, obviously I needed rear brake pads was the reason, but I think this is the one that's off the Integra because it's a little bit rustier, isn't it? Oh yeah, this one uses 14 mil, okay. Yeah, I don't know what you do in those countries with no rust, like, how do you even go about your day with no rust? It seems crazy. So this is the one that I thought looked most melty. So last time the car was out, it competed in a 45-minute race. And I won my class, so that's good. With the victories. Oh, that's fine, it's literally just dust that was on the top. All right, cool beans. Maybe we Maybe I'll give the engine oil a change for good luck. Sponsored by Miller's this year. Again, after all, I've got some oil. A lot of it's got the MR2's name on it, but you know, we've still got Miller's stickers on the car. We have a lot of people on this car. Everyone supported me somehow. It's pretty cool, right? The livery. I know I bought the car with these stickers on it, and I maybe should have made that my own, but the actual stickers that are on it, all these people actually helped me. That's cool, isn't it? I mean, even I guess the livery is a bit of a homage to the guy who originally built the car, and then obviously Chris supported us in a few races as well. The car's very different than when I bought it, but still it was, I mean, a lot of stuff's still the same, you know. All right. May as well change the oil then. All right, hopefully we're gonna finish off the Civic today. I was at Darkside last night and got the MR2 exhaust welded up, thanks Tom, but I also put the tyres on these Team Dynamics, but I am a little bit concerned about something, and it's here. They've had some damage, and with these 225 tyres on, look, it's actually sat, where the lips kind of folded in is actually sat on the tyre, and I'm a little bit concerned about what that could do, right? When the tyres under load, obviously in a race, it's going to be under some load, and the sidewalls, they do, you know, the soft sidewalls, especially on the L52s, which makes them, you know, they're a good tyre in a lot of ways, but I am worried that this will rip the tyre a new one. It's a brand new tyre, and these are not cheap tyres either. So anyway, there is a tyre machine up here. We very rarely use it, but I'm going to go over there now. I'm going to break the bead off, just see. Maybe we'll try and file it back or something. What I'm scared about doing is, if I do file that away or anything, is then making it sharper than what it already is, right? So anyway, I need to look at it because it's on the mind. Didn't go down very well. It was covered in it. Yeah. All right, let's finish this off then. I've just fired up the old motor and just doing a little warm up, and I'm going to try and get some oil out of these. So I've got some drums down there that I've not got the taps yet, but hey, we'll have a go, won't we? Yes, we will. And yeah, we'll do the alignment. There's nothing broken. I still need to refit my Garmin and stuff and give it a wash and all that, but you've heard me say that already. Let's just yeah, do the simple things. Oil change. Okay, let's do a good test, because we need to know. We're actually getting scrutineered on Monday. We're getting scrutineered, so will this still work? Sometimes these seize up. Looks like it still works. That's nice. Cool, the engine was running there for about 10 minutes, so should be nice and toasty. Or at least, you know, we all like to keep the granddads happy by warming up the engine before. I mean, obviously it makes good sense, right? Because it'll flow better. I don't want to go too high because of splash. I have a treat for us as well, a treat especial maybe, if I can find it. Oh yeah, I found it all right. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I found it, but there's a problem. How do we feel about this then? This is a genuine Honda oil filter, which I was saving for this video. Well, not saving, but you know, I've got it in stock, but look, the seal's been broken, and it's still pretty sealed, and it's been sat down for a while, but there's rust forming on the steel. What the hell? I mean, I can try and clean it off, I guess. The inside still looks good. How annoying's that? Very annoying, correct. Bloody hell. Been saving this. It's not that old, it's only bought it last year, you know. What rust? Weird, wasn't it? Well, not weird, obviously it wasn't sealed anymore, that's annoying, but I was going to give it a blow there, then we'll put the seal on it. It'll be fine. Let's get that oil. Let's get that oil draining, shall we? Yes, please. That looks pretty clean, that oil. Still looks golden. A magnetic sump plug. There's no swarf on it, but there's quite a lot of gunk on it. Let me have a better look at this. It's been parked up for a while, right? Condensation, maybe? I don't know. How does magnet work? Electricity, I don't know. What's going on there, do you reckon? Are we thinking there might be water in there? But it has been parked for a while. I know I've not mentioned that enough times, but it has been parked for a very long time, so maybe we just don't worry about it. All right, well, that's the snot off the sump plug. And yeah, I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. So this engine's been parked up, the car's been parked up for about 4, 5, 6 months maybe. Obviously it's been moved in and out a little bit, but it's never actually got up to operating temperature for at least 6 months. Yeah, I think this is just like a little bit of maybe condensation going on. Obviously this kind of grey bit's the more concerning bit. The black sludge is, you know, black sludge, sure, whatever. Yeah, I'm not concerned about that, but interesting, isn't it? Yes, Daniel, it's interesting. Anyway, time for a new crush washer, and we're going to try a new tactic because my old friend the torque wrench has caused me some concern on the M3, the black M3. I had to helicoil the sump plug, right? And I did the plug back up to factory spec, but because the thread sizes were different or whatever, leaked. So I nipped it up again, and it still leaked. I ended up going by feel, because I'm a mechanic now and I can feel things with my nice spanners off my uncle. So we're going to just feel it. We're going to feel when, firstly when the crush washer crushes, and then after that we'll feel when the threads strip. Well, hopefully not, but let's see. So just made contact with the washer now, but I want it to compress it. So I'm going to go a bit more about there. Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, it's really scary when you change oil with this pan. I need to get another one because you find big chunks of engine in it all the time. And I've cleaned it out so many times, but I always still find big chunks of engine. Like, where the hell does all this come from? And I mean big chunks of engine, you know? I mean, yeah. We'll just trust that's not from my engine. But I should really get a clean oil pan because it's kind of scary every time. Here's a question for you to ponder whilst I just finish this sweeping up. I'm going to the Nürburgring next weekend, hopefully in the MR2, but if the MR2 is not ready to go, there's a track day that I'm already booked onto and stuff. Dark Side Caddy is going to be there too on the second day. So I'm going to advertise my M3 for sale, but with the caveat that it might not be available until after that day, because if the MR2 is not ready, I'll just go in the black M3. Does that make me look like a good seller or a bad seller? What do you think? Let's put some oil in it, shall we, before we forget? Ooh, that's tight. Oh, we might see some mayo under here actually from the cold running, will we? Oh no. I mean, that's a good sign, right? No mayonnaise. No mayonnaise. Might even use a funnel, why not? We've got one here. Because I'm feeling extra nice, we'll do a few cranks with no fuel to get that oil pressure up. I've got an oil cooler on this. I don't know if it's thermostatic or not. I presume not. Normally not on race cars, right? I'm such a nice guy. It's just about up to the max marker, but we actually go a bit further on the racing cars. You'll know about it if you're into your Hondas. To the twist, please. Put about another, probably about another half a litre maybe. Well, not more than enough. It should be just about enough, right? We don't want to be overfilling it. Yes, it'd be hard for you to tell, but we're just about at the twist now. Obviously, the rest of the oil will go down and bridge the gap, and we'll check it before we go out on Monday anyway. Yes, we will. Thanks, Millers. Right, before we do the wheel alignment, which will be the fun final job that you've seen me do a million times, I know. I've thought of a little side quest that we can go on together. So remember the brake cooling ducting was basically non-existing, right? Well, I just had a little idea, right? Last year I was thinking about converting this to force it on the front just to make getting wheels easier. And my friend Gav gave me these 4-stud front hubs, right? You might notice they've still got backing plates. Yes, they have, and they're not in the best condition, but they are backing plates, right? So what I'm thinking is, can we fabricate something to properly utilize that air that's coming in, try and make it a bit better, and send it inside the brake disc using these backing plates? So in order to get them off, you're actually supposed to take the wheel bearing out, I'm pretty sure. You can see the screw there, it's behind the wheel bearing, but I think if we ask the Nipex nicely, we might be able to borrow them, and we only really want this top half anyway. So what I'm thinking is maybe just to cut it off, the top half. There's 2 mounting screws there, and hopefully we can use that to somehow get better brake cooling. Now what we ideally need is a tube of some kind, you know, a tube of steel or something, right? And someone who knows how to weld. So what we can do is try and mount the backing plate, which I don't know if it'll fit or not with the spoons, so we'll have to double check that as well. I think it should do, right? I think it should do, maybe. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But then hopefully we can get that hose to actually, instead of just, you know, thinking about sending air there, and you know, the air's probably very turbulent around here, so the air's probably not really getting to the brakes. And as we can see, the spoons got hot, you know, not too hot, but they definitely got warm in the last race. Can we improve that by putting some backing plates on? I mean, this is not ideal either. Look at the direction of the air. It's all not very good. There's a big bit of metal here behind the. Ideally, the duct would go, you know, a bit straighter, but let's see if we can make it a little bit better. A nice little side project, because, you know, I've not got enough to do this week anyway as it is. Let's just have a little sidey. The first task, of course, will be to try and let's just concentrate on one side. So let's go for the, what's that, the passenger side? This guy? No, this guy. Let's just have a go and see. Let's have a play with this. This is very Brexit spec, look. But can we make things better? First step, of course, can we get this old one off? I think we'll be very lucky if we can get these screws out, but might as well try. Shame we can't get a screwdriver through those. There's holes here to help get the brake disc off, I think, maybe. Or to secure the brake disc. Hey! It moves! Alright, well that's one. 2 to go. I think I've just seen a possible problem that might mean this can't happen, but we'll try. This one is not being as agreeable. No. Sure wouldn't mind a air chisel right about now. Just lob it off. Alright, let's go with a chisel approach. I'm a little bit worried about damaging, obviously, this, but... Yay! It's moving. Fuck me. Still really tight. So the area that we're going to be injecting air into is going to be here above where the steering arm comes in. Between here, we're going to try and get something here. It's not a flat plane, right? Is that the right word? It's not flat. All right, sag that off for now. I've got a better solution, I think. There's probably some value in exploring that, squeeze me. Exploring that in the future, but for now, I don't think we need to. Look at this, tell me what you think. Yep. So I was trying to see, do you want to go up a little bit? Whoop. So I was trying to figure out where I wanted this air to go through those ducts, right? And I kind of thought like I don't really need to. Just ignore this. This is just a safe. It's not even a safety one, right? Just ignore this. I know it's on a brake line. Just don't worry about it too much for now. So I've just stuck a wheel on now just to test that everything still works okay, which it does. So using what we already had and some cable ties, just open that up a little bit. So it's not perfect by any means, right? But I can cool the air, I can get the air where I want it to, I think. I need to do just a little bit of tuning on these. I mean, this doesn't have to be, well, it can't be rigid, right? Because it has to move. But we can make it a little bit more secure. So there's 2 cable ties on the inside here to the hub caliper, and this one doesn't really need to be there. I just kind of put it there as a tester, really, just to see. But I think that's good. It's a lot better than what it was before. So remember, this is what it was before, just kind of suggesting that some air might want to go towards the brake. And yeah, I think I much prefer this one. So let me just replicate that on both sides, and we'll have a good time. Oh, watch your head. And we'll have a good time, won't we? So I've got the steering all the way to the left. I'm going to put some new stickers on as well, so we'll be able to track, and that's what it was before, right? So what I've managed to do is, oh, I still need to, oh, lazy, hang on. Hey, you'd have thought by the mess on the floor that I got them all, right? But here we are. We don't want these melting. Okay, so everything's still got a bit of flex in it, of course, right? Nothing's, like you can see there, those cable ties have still got a little bit of flex. Where's that one want to go? Does it want to go there? I think it does. Okay. So yeah, we're full left at the minute. So as you can see, I mean, I would prefer that to be there, but I've got no way of, you know, it might end up doing that. But hopefully, you know, with the wheel, just getting the air inside the wheel, I think will be better than nothing, right? But that's on the disc. You really want to be cool in the center of the disc, right? Because they've got vanes which, you know, try and kick the air. I know a bit about this, and I know this is not the optimal setup, but I think this will be a lot better. So everything's still got a bit of flex. The lines now that they're a bit further out, a bit more extended, a lot less bends in them. We've still got a bend here, and obviously a bend at the top. As you can see, that the problem I was trying to explain earlier, you've got the chassis of the car is right in the way. Ideally, I should have come through like here down the bottom, and that would have been a lot better, but c'est la vie, eh? It's the last outing. What is that? Don't look at that. And then on the other side, so this is all compressed, obviously. Again, still lots of flex. Is that torn? Oh, that's not cool. Maybe I'll put a bit of lecky tape around that. Is that torn? I think it is. Maybe I'll just clean this up and put a bit of lecky tape on it. But again, yeah, not as many bends. This is a bit more inside, but maybe that's just because it's. Let's just see if we can turn the wheel. So the wheels will never be this far out on the racetrack anyway. But as you can see, look, happy. That's just happy. So I got rid of this cable tie as well. I know. So we've actually got one round the lower ball joint now. The extended lower ball joint gives us a bit of room. 2 at the top, 1 at the side. A big one here, and then 2 holding it up there. I think that should be fine. With the wheel on, the wheel only comes to about here anyway because of the spacer rings and stuff. So it's well out the way. So yeah, I'm pretty. Get rid of this shit by now, can't we? Yeah. God's sake, what a time. Let me get some fresh stickers on. Maybe clean the hands, and then let's do a little wheel alignment, shall we? I'm pretty happy with this. It should be pretty. I mean, it's not still obviously very far from optimal, but should be okay. All right, I'm pretty happy with this brake cooling adjustments now. I'm not an expert here. I've not done a lot of this, but I think this should be okay. All right, we need to get these stickers off, which reminds me I've got a new toy. This is the 15-pound Parkside heat gun. So remember, the front left showing basically 200 degrees, dungarees. The front right is slightly higher. The front right is at about 220 maybe, which is too many. What's the Parkside heat gun going to be like? I mean, there's heat coming out of it. It's not a lot, but there's definitely heat coming out of it. It's not doing a lot, I'll be honest. It's not doing a lot. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I got this because I thought it'd be good for heat shrink and stuff inside the cars. Ugh, come on. You can tell it's not hot because I got my fingers in the fucking firing line and it's not really hurting them that much. Okay, yeah, perfect. Thanks Parkside. Real good tool you've made there. Quick back-to-back test against the old faithful Black & Decker. I mean, the glue's got to be resistance to heat anyway, right? Because it's, think of the application, but yes. You be the judge. You know, it's probably a good idea, YouTube comments. This will keep Mr. Josh Lawton happy as well. We should probably give the brakes a bleed as well, shouldn't we? especially because we know they got hot last time they were out. I'm going to bleed the brakes and then we're going to align the car. You've seen me bleed brakes before, why we don't want to do that again. Be right back. All right, welcome back. Fast forward a few hours. I've been doing other stuff. Brakes are all bled. Some weird stuff happened with the brakes and the front calipers. When I cracked the bleed nipple open, it was like some slime came out, some like solidified brake fluid, very strange. And then there seemed to be air coming out even after I'd bled the front calipers. So there might be something going on there. We're going to ignore it for now. I'm just about to weigh the car, and I thought that'd be an interesting time to bring you back on board. So if you just keep an eye on that little, so the weight before was around 1,000 kilos, right? 1,000 kilos. It's not a light EG by any means, but remember my championship that I was racing in it's a brake horsepower per ton thing, right? And you can only make the K24s, you can only get them down a certain amount, right? Why is that? Oh, okay. You can only get them down a certain amount. So, you know, having the lightest weight is perhaps not preferable to, you know, so I can have the K24 because I could probably get it lighter with a B16 and stuff like that. But to utilize the K24, it is unfortunately a little bit heavy. And I could still make it lighter. There were lighter cars than me with the same setup before, but I quite like the balance of the car and the weight doesn't seem an issue, to be honest. I mean, lighter car is always better, but yeah, like I say, the problem is trying to get the K24 to breathe less. That can be a bit of a problem. So let's just reset that and put it into the kgs. Okay, can you see what's going on with the front right? Why does it think something's on there? Oh, I figured out the problem. That's supposed to be connected. Let's connect it. It would be nice to do a corner weight because I've not done one of them for a long time. And springs and stuff have moved, but it's only doing one race, right? I don't know if I can be bothered, to be honest. We'll see. Anyway, what's the weight going to be? Place your bets. Oh, I need to put it in. I need to put it in gear actually, so it doesn't try and fall off. Because that would be sad, wouldn't it? All right, I think we're just about off. Yeah, we're off. So that is our weight, and what is it, Captain? 1,054 kilos. What? That can't be right, can it? 1,054. Someone's yanking my chain. That's too many. That's way too many. Oh, haha. Rodney, you plonker. Rodney, you plonker. Can you tell what it is yet? I'm starting to think the scales might be buggered, but that might have something to do with it. So 4 wheels and tyres weighing 45 kilograms, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 993. Someone do the maths quick. 993, I think, plus 92 is going to be 1085, isn't it? Calculator, 218 divided by 1085 is 200.9 horsepower per ton. That's pretty bang on, right? I wonder how much fuel we've got even. We should probably measure that. There is a drain on these tanks, but it's not in the bottom bit. When we do get racing again, like in the Integra probably now, definitely need to fit some kind of device to drain the fuel out easier. Obviously there's no cameras in, and I'm about 88 kilos now. With my kit on I'll be like 92. Put cameras and stuff in, bring it up to like 93. I think to be safe I need to put a 5 kilo ballast in. If I was to do this series again and build a car for it, I would keep like standard cams maybe and standard inlet. That brings us to 998. So they're like 2.5 kilos each then. Okay, so now the car weighs, given the fuel that's in it, let's just use that as a baseline. It's on the needle, it's saying it's got just under half a tank, but I think it should be less than that in the real world. It started last race brimmed. So yeah, it's saying 997.5. Let's do the math again. 997.5 plus let's say 93 for me and my kit is 1090 bang on. So cool. we'll have to bolt those plates in. The cross weights are not good. Well, obviously I'm not in the car, and if I'm 90 odd, then that's quite a ballast, isn't it? I don't know why they put it there. You see what it is? So the bottom of the tank's here, and the drain's up here. I mean, we're splitting hairs. It might be a litre or two. Let's drain it and just be sure. Oh, there you go. That's how much fuel it has in. There's not even any come out. And yet the sender says quarter of a tank. Let's confirm that. If we could jack up the front of the car, that'd be useful, but I don't think you're allowed to do that on ramps, are you? So the fuel is currently, yeah, about a quarter. Can you see? About a quarter on the OEM gauge, which is apparently less than that. But let's just do a little bit of a modest bit of tomfoolery, just a bit of modest. So remember, I did a 45-minute race, and this uses, in theory, about a litre a minute. But that was with, there's fuel going to come out here. That's good. Is there? No, just going to run down the tank and splash on me. Let's assume there's not a quarter of a tank. Let's assume that it's empty, which is what it should be. It should have probably 5 litres in the system maximum. This fuel tank, I think, is 42 litres. And then we've got an extra 2 litre capacity in the other pot. So it can't be more than 5 litres of fuel in the system. Weight concerns, because that means it is completely down on fuel, right? What's changed? That makes no sense at all. Why does it now weigh more? $10.13, that's, what was it before? 998, right? Where's the 15 kilos come from, Captain? All right, a little bit concerned about this. Let's do a reset again. Just switch this off. Switch it back on. All I've done is try to drain some fuel out, failed, and gained 15 kilos. So let's just try that again, fresh start. None of the wires are tangled. No, all the connections are in tight. So if this is 10.13 again, maybe I was missing something before, I don't know. What's happened? What have I done? Please help me. Did I have one of the pads on and I didn't realise? Can't have done. What? I wonder if the door was resting on the ramp maybe? So I guess we don't need these plates after all. Maybe we'll try and weigh the car at Donington when we get there, because that puts us well in the margin for where we need to be. I'll watch this video back and try and figure out what's just changed, but that's spooky and annoying, isn't it? Where's the weight just come from? Right, so I've had a good look into this. Obviously I'm curious myself and I want to know what happened. All I can tell is that maybe one of the pads was on slightly, like ever so slightly, maybe a pad was just on and that was what causing it, but very trippy and yeah, not ideal, but long cut. Once again, the long cut. Tell you what, let's do the cross weights quickly, right? I'll let you record it, then I'll look back at the video. I'll just jump in the cockpit. Can you see it all right? Cross weight's currently terrible. Let me just go and jump in the passenger side, driver's side, and we'll see how that changes. And there's things missing from the car, but that'll be roughly what it is, so hopefully that's closer to 50. That number, that was 54, hopefully it's now 50. All right, you might have noticed that, no, the cross weights didn't get better. That's annoying. Yeah, why not just do more things while we're here? Because that's kind of sad how bad they are. Oh no, I've been a fool. I've been a fool. One thing that we need is a perfectly flat floor. One thing I've not done yet is align the tables. So be right back. You might have picked up on something there. The tables weren't set. I'm setting the tables now. So the cross weight that we measured when we weighed the car, total bollocks. So this might be a complete waste of time, which would be nice. All right, let's find out what the crossy weights really were. Although I did knock a lot of bolts on the floor. First I must retrieve them. Of course I knocked them all on the floor. Okay, let's once again look at the magic numbers. So it's currently on weight. We're not that interested in the weight. Cross weight, front left, front right. So let's see what the true cross weight is. Now we have a level floor. Please. Okay, car's off the ramp. So what we got? What are the chances of that happening, eh? It's nearly perfect. What a waste of time, man. I've hours there, whatever. All right, since we're here, we may as well make it 50-50, right? Do the 50-50ing. So the current sum, what's the heavier? Front right's heavy. Why is it in pounds? I don't read foreign. So 200 and so 537 plays 520. Let's add something. Let's add some ride height on the rear left. Yeah, more ride height on the rear is always good. It's not got enough, right? I'll leave that for you. So I'm going to increase the ride height on the rear left, yeah? So remember now it's 50, was it 50.6? Are these scales broken? Is that what's going on? All right, hopefully this will be 50-50 now because I'm getting bored of this. Oh, Dan, you're always so enthusiastic. That's why you've got loads of followers and fans.
3 hours later.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's very annoying, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we've got a load sale going, which kind of makes all of this pointless, even more pointless than all the time I've already wasted. I hope you're enjoying this video. It's 9:34. I've not eaten. Do you feel sorry for me? Okay, never mind then. 50-50 weight distribution by perhaps the floor should be straight, the weight in the car's straight. The total weight currently is, yeah, one of the load cells must be fucked. It's saying 1,060 kilos. That's fucking great, that, isn't it? Oh, the car's lighter because it's not got the wheels on, Dan. The car's lighter because it's not got the wheels on. Correct. Home time, I think. Need to do alignment tonight, really. All right, it's time to do the final step. Well, washing it is probably the final step. Yes, it's a bit of a, there's a string alignment. If you know what this is, we're going to set the wheel alignment of the car, yeah? So how the wheels are doing this and that. I don't think I've videoed it for a while, but some people call it tracking. Back in the day, the men would call it the tracking, right? Or laser alignment, or basically wheel alignment, right? So on the Civic, all 4 corners are adjustable, right? So there's not a beam on the back like you might find on other hatchbacks. It's independent suspension and the wheels can turn which way they want pretty much. The camber is all adjustable too. We're running about, probably a bit too much camber maybe, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've really done any kind of developings on this car, but we've got about 3.7 I think. I did it because it's the number on the back and it's 4.5 degrees on the front. But yes, it's time to do the string alignment. This is one of my favorite things, I think, to do. I actually enjoy doing this. So I'll talk you through it a little bit. I get questions all the time. One of my most, I mean, people must think I'm good at this or something, I don't know. But one of the questions I get the most from people is, you know, asking me to recommend them some alignment specs for their Civic or for their Integra or whatever. And yeah, one thing you got to realize about alignment is I can tell you something, you can go and do it to your car and you might hate it, okay? You might absolutely hate it, think it's the worst thing ever. And what I'm trying to say is it's subjective, okay? So what works for me might not work for you. Now that's not to say that there isn't, you know, a good known, oh, come on. Of course there's like a good known configuration, right? And that's In the UK at least, they call that the fast road setup. And all that is basically a little bit of toe out on the front and a little bit of toe in on the rear, or no toe at the back. And the toe is how the wheel sits in the arch, right? Whether it's pointing outwards at the front or if it's pointing inwards at the front, okay? That's toe. And that's applicable to any car, basically, pretty much every car. I've got a front engine rear wheel drive, a front engine front wheel drive, and a mid-engined rear wheel drive car there. And that applies to them all, pretty much. That just is how the way the car feels. It doesn't matter if it's McPherson, if it's dual wishbone or anything. It's pretty universal. Camber changes obviously between cars and stuff like that, and there's a few more variances there, and depending on what tyres you're running, you know, if you're running semi-slicks or road tyres, and that can get a bit more tricky, but certainly toe is pretty simple. And on this car, I tend to run as little toe as possible. So I'm trying to keep my wheels as straight as possible all the time. Why am I doing that? That is for maximum straight linings. So my car is in a 200 brake horsepower per tonne limit class, right? So I can't have more power, I can't have less weight, I'm at a fixed value. So anything I can do, I mean, I could make the aero better, I could do loads of things, but if I can keep the toe kind of where it needs to be, then we'll have a better time. If I was racing a Volkswagen, or a Golf, or a Audi TT, or anything like that, those cars, the VAG cars, tend to have to run excessive amounts of toe to get them to turn, to get them to feel kind of dynamic, and get them to, you know, feel something like a car might want to feel on a circuit. This is not a problem that the Civic has. So what they'll be doing is, the Volkswagen cars, for example, they're running all this toe, and yeah, it'll help the car feel better in the corners, but it'll be scrubbing speed down the straight, and it's marginal. It's not a lot. We might be talking 1 mile an hour, you know, at the most. It's not a massive thing, but every little helps. And because I don't need to run the toe, I don't tend to. But let's see what it's at now. So I've put the steering wheel straight. It's still got my weight in the car. The string alignment. So you know, you can align your car. You can use lasers. You can use string. There's probably some other ways like tracking gauges and stuff like that. You're setting the toe, right? That's what we're here for. Right? We're setting the toe. Do it however you want. I like doing it by string. If someone offered me a posh laser thing, I wouldn't be interested. I'm not interested in doing the lasers. String doesn't need calibrating, okay? This is a fixed point either side. We've got a straight line there, a straight line there, a straight line there. All I'm going to be doing now is twiddling these bars, and I'm measuring the center of the wheel here to make sure that on each axle the distance is the same. And then we'll know, we'll have a square, well not a square box, but we'll have a rectangular box but full of straight lines, and that'll allow us to accurately measure the toe. That's all we're here for, remember. It's all about the toe, baby. Camber on the front of mine is already maxed out, and on the rear it looks like it's about right. If you're going to change camber, you need to do it before toe, and we're not going to do it. It looks about right. So what I'm doing now is I'm setting the box up. So I have to walk around all four corners, taking the same measurement, and I'm only really interested in the differences between the axles. So here at the back now it's 95 mil on the back right, and on the back left it's 120 mil, or 100 and, yeah, so I know it's going to be about 1075, 1070. So if I go back to the other side now and measure it again, it is 1070, bang on, okay, perfect. Let's measure the front now. I'll try and put something on screen so that you visualize it if you're interested. That is 97, and the measurement here is 95, so I know that I want this to be 96, and this is a tad low. I'm trying to get my string to go through the center of the wheel, but that is a tad low. So let's just, when it comes to the string alignment, because you're measuring millimeters, you have to make sure everything's right. You can't cut corners. No cutting of the corners. Also, I'm measuring the string, right? I'm measuring on a ruler, and my perspective of where that string is on the ruler changes massively from where I'm stood. So I want to make sure I'm doing the same thing every time. What a lot of people will do is put the head on the wheel arch like that. So that's currently 96. And so is that. So we've got 96 on the front. matching, and on the rear we've got 106 now. I've made some changes at the front. 106 plays 109, so I know that's going to be about 107 and a bit-ish. Call it 100. That's about 107 and a half. Splitting hairs, splitting the millimeters. All 4 tyres are at 32 psi. Okay, so what we're going to do now is measure the toe, right? And how are we going to measure the toe, I hear you ask? Well, remember the toe. Look at my new wheels, what a lovely design. Let me just get you down to the same level, about there. So you can see how the string's going through the centre of the wheel, right? Ignore the bodywork and all that mess. So I'm now going to measure. We know the steering wheel's straight and the steering wheel's where I want it to be. Looks like it still is. So now I'm going to measure the distance to the back of the wheel here, which is on my, oh, don't touch the string though, that's bad. So it's pretty much straight through 44 centimeters, right? Pretty much straight through. So I'm reading where the string crosses through the ruler, and I'll show you what that looks like on this side, because I know you're interested. Remember, your perspective might be a little bit different to mine. So I'm measuring the value on the outside of the string, right? And can you see, you can't quite see because I can't get you quite close enough without disturbing the string. But it's slightly lower. It's about, it's just under 4, okay? It's just under 4. So that means the distance at the rear is higher than the distance at the front, okay? So that means that the front of the wheel is sticking out a little bit more than the rear of the wheel, which means that we have a hair, the slightest bit of toe out, which is I mean, we're talking about 0.5 millimeter there, which I can't remember the last time I aligned this car. It was definitely not 2024, it was 2023. So we might have the same on here, and I might have gone for a really low/no toe setup, 40. And again, so it's just a hair over again. So the last time I must have aligned this car, and this is where these Civic EGs, EKs, DC2s are really strong compared to EP3s and DC5s and the newer stuff, and even M3s and MR2s. When you set the alignment on these things, you can drive them so hard on track, clattering curbs and, you know, just really hard work for your suspension, and the alignment tends to stay where it is, which is not something you'll find on a lot of these McPherson cars like the MR2, like the M3, like the DC5s and the EP3s and stuff. Obviously, I don't have the most experience in the world, but good news, guys, the front alignment is ready to rip. What a nice treat to end the video on. Well, maybe we'll end it with a little wash out. So, same story for the rear. The rear on this car, fully adjustable. We've currently got 65 on the back and 64 on the front. Interesting. That's perhaps not what we want then, because that means that the distance is greater on the back. So it's about 1 millimeter greater distance on the rear than the front. What does that mean then? Have you been listening? Of course you know what it means, okay. So that means that this tyre has actually got a little bit of toe out, which is not something that you'd really want on a front. Well, would you? If you, like I say, on some cars you might like that, but it's not really something that I really go for. It's something I've done before when I was struggling with this car's handling in the past. I've done that, but it's not something that I would typically go for. But let's see what this side is saying. Remember, we've changed the ride height on this one, so I would expect it to be not where I left it last, right? But I don't know where I left it last, to be honest. So this is 63, just over 63 on the back, and 64 on the front. So that's weird then, because this tyre, which is the one that we've actually modified, we've actually changed the ride height on this corner, is actually where I would want it to be, which is slightly, a marginal bit of toe in. It's highly likely that on Monday when we're racing the car, it's going to rain. So, you know, I don't really want toe out on the rear. So what we'll do then, we've only got one corner, just confirm it's definitely where I think it is, 64 and 63, yep. So what we'll do, we'll modify the rear rights. That's the only side that needs changing. We'll leave the front. That is a nice end to the video, because sometimes this can get messy, but yeah, these Hondas are pretty good at that. I can try and show you what I'm going to do now. If you're that interested, if you made it this far, you must be interested, right? How am I going to change the toe, I hear you ask? Well, I've got some quite nice toe arms on this car, which, if I bring you in here, these are from Home Developments in Australia, and they're actually sawtooth, so I can actually, what I can do is I can undo these bolts and move it over, but I think that will probably give us a little bit more than what we'd want, but we can try it, because it would be a nice, easy peasy way. So can you just see how there's some, you can just kind of see how there's some lines here, right? And we're on the second one from the outside, and there's 4 different settings of this. So what we want to do is push that in one, right? And I can't remember how much difference that makes, but let's try it, and I think that should get us something near. So I'm going to take the load off the wheel. So I'm going to jack up the car slightly using the lift, just to take the load off, and then we'll slide that over one and see where it sits. I wonder if Mr. Honda Man still watches these videos. We've not done a lot of Honda stuff lately, and he's a Honda man, but he'll be happy to see this. So I've still got rubber bushes, the spoon rubber bushes in this car, and yeah, they're naturally always going to want to do that, okay, especially with the car unloaded. People say when you brake on these cars they're meant to toe in, which maybe is a different force than what we're experiencing now. But what I need to do now is try and find a way to push that back in, and what I'll try and do whilst the car's on the ramp is use the wheel as leverage and see if that works. It doesn't work. If you had poly bushers or spherical bushers, which you maybe should probably, then this wouldn't be a problem. But here we are. I'm going to try this extended jack handle first. This might do it. Yep, can you see? So keep an eye on them lines, right? So we're currently on, clean it up a bit for you. So we're currently on the most outer one, and we want to be 2 in from that, so that one. Okay, there we go. So these use spherical joints, look, so we can actually turn them quite easily. Come on out then, let's see what that's done to the toe. So remember we had a hair of toe out before and we didn't like it, did we? So now hopefully we've got a hair of toe in, matching the other side. Everyone's a winner. I am on turntables, but we can just rock the car a little bit. It's in gear as well, so we can't do too much, but just rock the car a little bit. And then measure this toe, and we are currently on the front, 65. So on the outside of the string there, I'm 64. On the outside of the string here, I'm 60. Oh, what was the other side again? Was it a full millimetre? Because I think we're just over 1 mil there. Okay, it's not 100% matching, so unfortunately that means it's bad for the Tismo, because now we need to adjust this. So there's a slider on the inside as well. There's a slider. I don't know why this side would change just on its own, but I mean, I haven't driven it for so long, the car, without aligning it. I raced it last year twice and didn't align it once. So, but again, the tricky thing is, because there's so much force going through this rubber bush inside there, trying Trying to expand all the time, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But let's not come this far and then cut corners right at end at video and that, because everyone will think I'm daft. If anyone's still watching, they'll be like, what are you doing that for? I've watched it all the way to end at video and now you're cutting corners. This is where perhaps lasers have definitely got the upper hand, because you can just stay under the car, make your measurements, look at a little computer screen or a tablet. Sometimes they've got tablets now that you just take them under the car with you and that, you know, have a good time. Click. Hey. Fingers crossed for me. 64 on the inside. It appears to be the same. I've just saw it come out a little bit more. So I need to go past those two little bits and a little bit more. Fourth time lucky. If this is 64 on the inside, then it's bad. 64 and a bit, I'll take it. 63 and a half. Okay, we got it. Congratulations. Okay, I'm gonna go home now. It is 10:48, that's enough, innit? I know it's been a while since we've done the old watch updates, the clock updates. Should do a little bit of a bolt check, but nothing ever comes loose. Engine mounts are about the only thing that I've had to nip up on this car, and they're not something that I really enjoy nipping up, because it's aluminium stuff that has been getting hot and that, you know. All right, I'll give this a sanity check in the morning, we'll give it a wash, and we'll say goodbye to this video. Well, you're not going to believe this, but I got myself into another TISM trap. I lifted the car a little bit last night, just put on the locks. Overnight, came in, it was only a little bit higher on the ride height, and the string didn't line up, so I thought, oh my God, what a fool. I must have measured it last night with this. No, it was just the ramp all the time. So I redid all the strings. Luckily, I didn't make any adjustments, but I can confirm that last night's late night string alignment was accurate, and we are good. We are good. It would be nice to get the side skirts back on, wouldn't it? Looks a bit crappy without the side skirties on. I don't know whether to keep the wing space in. I don't know if I need to anymore. I mean, these are 8-inch wide ET38, I think, and they've got an 8mm spacer, so I'll call it ET30, but I could probably get away without the wing spacer now. But do I want to risk it for a chocolate biscuit? I don't know. It looks a bit crap, this, doesn't it? Yeah. Maybe we'll try it and see. Is this good for airflow or bad for airflow? Turbulent air. I don't know. The only thing I'm concerned about is this coming loose, because that's the that's how that's been done. You see? Yeah, very nice. Hang on. Is this legal for hot hatch? I'll double check that, because I don't. This might not be legal for hot hatch. Let me check. All right, I just checked the rules, and it is slightly different than the race that we did last year. The 45-minute race is a different series to the hot hatch one, remember? Because we normally do 15-minute sprint racing. Yeah, you catch my drift. So what we have to do now, when I can find the appropriate ruler, Richter ruler, that one I'll do. This is little Diddy Kong ruler. So we've got an inch basically. So if at any point if this distance here to here is greater than an inch, then we're probably not allowed to do it. Oh, I mean, it's right on there, isn't it? It's only at the bottom. I mean, we can probably bring the bottom in maybe a little bit if we wanted to, but I think that's, yeah, I think we're gonna be fine with that, aren't we? Can we see? So 25mm for you metric crowd. So bang in the middle of that 2 between the 3, and that's exactly where it is. So I think we're fine. It's ugly though, isn't it? I've got a new bumper, I've got new wings, I've got all sorts of panels for this car to try and make it a bit nicer. One day we'll get there. But yeah, she's good. So I'll try and get the side skirties on now, I think, and maybe we'll even give it a wash. Side skirts. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Also makes it look like the body is not sticking out as much. I don't actually have the the right number of clips, you could say, but that's fine. I've probably got some more for my Integra somewhere, but I think we'll put 2 at the back and 2 at the front and hope for the best. You're meant to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I've got 9 in total, 8 per side you're supposed to have, so I'll miss 2, no, miss 1, miss 1. I might be able to get away with this. The most important side is probably the other side, right? Because that's where the pictures will get taken. I probably have got some of these kicking about for the Integra somewhere, look, those little things. Nice. Slight modifications required. Alright, it's been a long time since I've took this splitter off, but there are some pins in here which weren't seized, 1 on each side. You know what, I don't think I want to do it anymore. The other side's stuck in. I don't think I can be. Oh yeah, still got the steering lock thing on, not anymore. Yeah, basically we should be able to take those pins out and then undo some bolts and it just slides off, like real nice. But there is water here for sure. So, I topped up the radiator yesterday. Is it still topped up? Yeah, mostly. I don't know, we can change the radiator before we go. It's not a huge job. Or we can just ignore it. Yeah. Quick release. The question is all of that from that one bung? I think the answer is probably yes, actually. But let's do a further investigate. Yeah, we'll just ignore it. Sounds good? Hell yeah. Right, well that brings us to the end of this video. I did end up changing the radiator, but I didn't take any video. Yeah, Ed's just washing the car for me now because I had to get on with trying to get the MR2 ready to go back to the Nürburgring. And we've also got some new sponsor stickers going on from AutoSmart and Miller's. So yeah, that's the Civic now prepared to race once again at Donington Park for the final time once again. That'll be a next video. Hopefully I'm going to have it ready for this weekend. If not, it might be the weekend after, but it's a very, very good racing. And without ruining too much, it was quite wet.